Hey there, fellow travelers. It's Anthony Bourdain, and I'm here to take you on a journey through one of North America's most stunning cities, Vancouver. This place is a feast for the senses, a melting pot of cultures, and a playground for nature lovers. It's where the mountains meet the sea, and where urban sophistication blends seamlessly with rugged wilderness. Vancouver is like that cool kid in school who's good at everything. It's got style, substance, and a whole lot of charm. From the moment you step foot in this city, you'll feel its energy. The air is crisp, the people are friendly, and there's always something exciting happening around every corner. But enough with the introductions. Let's dive in and explore this urban paradise. So buckle up, folks. We're in for one hell of a ride. And speaking of thrilling experiences, you can't miss the Capilano Suspension Bridge. This iconic bridge offers breathtaking views and an adrenaline-pumping adventure. Suspended high above the Capilano River, it's a must-visit for anyone seeking a bit of excitement. Trust me, the experience is nothing short of spectacular.
Let's kick things off in the heart of the city, downtown Vancouver. This is where the magic happens, folks. It's a bustling hub of activity, a concrete jungle with a soul. Skyscrapers reach for the clouds, their glass facades reflecting the ever-changing sky. But don't let the urban landscape fool you. This city knows how to keep it green. Trees line the sidewalks, providing shade and a touch of nature amidst the urban sprawl. The result is a downtown core that's both modern and inviting. Now let's talk about the people. Downtown Vancouver is a melting pot of cultures. You'll hear a dozen different languages just walking down a single block. It's like the United Nations, but with better coffee. Speaking of which, grab a cup at one of the many local cafes. The baristas here take their craft seriously, and you can taste the difference. But the real star of downtown Vancouver is its energy. There's always something happening. From high-end boutiques to quirky local shops, you'll find it all here. Trust me, you'll want to be part of it.
Now let's shift gears and head to the coast. Vancouver's relationship with the ocean is like a love story for the ages. It's deep, it's passionate, and it shapes everything about this city. The moment you catch your first glimpse of that sparkling blue water, you'll understand why Vancouverites are so damn happy all the time. The city's waterfront is a playground for locals and tourists alike. Take a stroll along the seawall. It's the world's longest uninterrupted waterfront path. You'll see joggers, cyclists, and rollerbladers all sharing the space. It's like a non-stop parade of active, happy people. And who can blame them? With views like these, I'd be out there every day too. But the ocean isn't just for looking at. Hop on a kayak and paddle around False Creek. Or if you're feeling adventurous, try stand-up paddleboarding. Just don't fall in. That water's colder than a witch's. Well, you know. And let's not forget about the beaches. Kitsilano Beach, or Kits as the locals call it, is a summer hotspot. Picture this: golden sand, volleyball courts, and a massive saltwater pool. So grab your sunscreen and your sense of adventure. Vancouver's coastal beauty is calling your name.
All right, folks, let's dive into the gritty, salty world of Vancouver's seaport. This isn't just some quaint little harbor, it's the beating heart of the city's economy and a crucial gateway to the Pacific. Picture this: massive cargo ships, their decks stacked high with colorful containers, gliding into the harbor. Cranes that look like they could pick up your house move with surprising grace, unloading goods from around the world. It's like watching a perfectly choreographed dance, but instead of tutus, you've got hard hats and steel-toed boots. The salty sea air fills your nostrils, mingling with the smell of fresh fish and diesel. You can hear the distant hum of engines, the clanking of metal, and the occasional blast of a ship's horn. Take a harbor tour and see the port from the water. Watch as seaplanes take off and land right next to massive freighters. Even the most industrial parts of Vancouver have their own unique beauty.
Section 5. Hanging Gardens, Green Oases in the Sky. Let's elevate our perspective and talk about Vancouver's unique hanging gardens. These aren't your average rooftop gardens. They're lush, green oases high above the city's streets. It's like rainforest Tetris with the skyline. These gardens are more than just pretty faces. They're a testament to Vancouver's commitment to sustainability, bringing nature into the heart of the urban jungle. The Vancouver Convention Centre is a prime example. Its 6-acre living roof hosts over 400,000 indigenous plants. It's practically a nature reserve, and you can visit it. Enjoy panoramic views of the harbour and mountains, Residential towers are also sprouting vertical forests. Balconies overflow with plants, creating cascades of green. In Vancouver, you're never far from nature, even 30 stories up.
Section 6, Stanley Park, Vancouver's natural gem. All right, folks, it's time to talk about the crown jewel of Vancouver, Stanley Park. This isn't just a park, it's a 1,000-acre urban oasis that puts Central Park to shame. As soon as you step into Stanley Park, you're transported into another world. The hustle and bustle of the city fades away, replaced by the rustle of leaves and the chirping of birds. Towering cedar, fir, and hemlock trees create a canopy overhead, their branches reaching out like nature's own skyscrapers. But Stanley Park isn't just about trees. There's a seawall that wraps around the entire park, offering stunning views of the city, mountains, and ocean. And if you're lucky, you might spot some local wildlife. Raccoons, squirrels, and even the occasional coyote call this park home. And let's not forget about the park's cultural significance. Totem poles stand tall, telling stories of the indigenous peoples who lived here long before the city existed. From old-growth forests to sandy beaches, Stanley Park is a microcosm of everything that makes Vancouver special. It's not just a park, it's the soul of the city. Section 7, Gaston, a step back in time. Now let's take a stroll through history and explore Gaston, Vancouver's oldest neighborhood. This place is like a time machine, folks. One minute you're in the modern city and the next you're surrounded by Victorian architecture, cobblestone streets, and the gentle hiss of a steam clock. Yes, you heard that right. A steam clock. More on that in a moment. Gastown got its start back in 1867 when a guy named John Gassey, Jack Dayton, opened a saloon for forestry workers. The area grew around that saloon and voila, Vancouver was born. Today, Gastown is a charming mix of old and new. Historic buildings house trendy boutiques, hip restaurants, and art galleries. Now, about that steam clock. It's probably the most photographed object in Vancouver, and for good reason. Every quarter hour, this steampunk masterpiece whistles and shoots steam from its whistles. But Gastown isn't just about looking pretty. The smell of roasting coffee wafts from local cafes. Street musicians provide a soundtrack for your wanderings. It's a neighborhood that wears its history proudly, inviting you to step back in time while keeping one foot firmly in the present. Section 8, Granville Island, a food lover's paradise. All right, food lovers, this one's for you. Let's talk about Granville Island, Vancouver's mecca for all things delicious. This former industrial area is now a vibrant hub of culinary delights and artisan crafts. The star here is the Granville Island Public Market, a sensory overload in the best way. Sights, smells, and sounds hit you as you walk in. Fresh produce in every color. The aroma of fresh bread and coffee. Fishmongers hawking the catch of the day. Beyond the market, artisan workshops dot the island. Watch glassblowers, potters, and woodworkers practice their craft. Granville Island is home to some of Vancouver's best restaurants, breweries, and distilleries. It's a feast for all your senses, and trust me, you won't want to miss it.
Section 9. Vancouver's diverse neighborhoods. Now let's take a whirlwind tour of Vancouver's neighborhoods. This city is like a patchwork quilt, each area with its own distinct flavor and character. It's this diversity that makes Vancouver so damn interesting. You could spend weeks exploring and still find new surprises around every corner. Let's start with Kitsilano, or Kits as the locals call it. This beachside neighborhood is like Vancouver's version of Venice Beach, but with better coffee and fewer muscleheads. It's all about the laid-back, healthy lifestyle here. Yoga studios, organic cafes, and health food stores line the streets. And let's not forget Kits Beach, where beautiful people work on their tans and play volleyball. Next up, we've got Commercial Drive, affectionately known as The Drive. This is where Vancouver lets its freak flag fly. It's a multicultural melting pot, with Italian cafes next to Ethiopian restaurants next to vintage clothing stores. The vibe here is decidedly bohemian. Street art adorns walls, buskers provide a soundtrack, and the smell of incense wafts from new age shops. And we can't forget about Yaletown. This former warehouse district has transformed into Vancouver's trendy hotspot. High-end boutiques, swanky restaurants, and sleek cocktail bars occupy converted brick buildings.
Section 10, Outdoor Adventures in and around Vancouver. All right, adventure seekers, this one's for you. Vancouver isn't just about urban exploration, it's a gateway to some of the most stunning natural landscapes you'll ever see. This city is sandwiched between mountains and ocean, which means outdoor adventures are literally on your doorstep. Let's start with the mountains. The North Shore Mountains are just a short drive from downtown, and they're a haven for hikers and mountain bikers. Trails wind through old-growth forests leading to stunning viewpoints overlooking the city and the Strait of Georgia. And in winter, these same mountains transform into a snowy wonderland. 3 local ski resorts offer world-class skiing and snowboarding just 30 minutes from downtown. It's surreal to be carving powder in the morning and sipping cocktails in a downtown bar by evening. Vancouver truly is an adventurer's paradise.